If you're a fan of space and sci-fi games, well, the future is looking great, as coming up here are some of the most ambitious interstellar experiences we've ever seen. Today's video is sponsored by Don't Nod, but more on that later. From realistic space sims and spooky horror titles to neon-soaked samurai jewels, the variety coming up is insane, whether you're a hardcore sim fan or just a casual combat junkie. So today I'll be counting down 18 essential upcoming space and sci-fi titles, including a few hidden gems currently flying under the radar that you simply don't want to miss. Starting with Untethered, a realistic space survival sandbox that trades sci-fi fantasy for the cold hard physics of our own solar system. I came across this title on Reddit actually, where again it's going for this grounded take on the genre, focusing on the mechanical and scientific challenges of staying alive, alone in your tiny tin can floating in the vastness of space. You play as this survivor, stranded in orbit, where your only hope is your ability to scavenge for scrap and then use that scrap to upgrade your little satellite here. But don't expect creepy aliens or Jedi mind tricks, as the only worry you have is running out of food, water, or oxygen. While playing the demo, which I highly recommend doing, it reminded me a bit of Subnautica in space. I know we have Astrometica, but this one feels very similar, just a bit more realistic. However, it still gives you that ooh and ah factor when opening the hatch, hearing you breathe in your suit, and the quiet, calming music playing in the background. But then you start to panic as your oxygen runs out and you're like, I gotta get back. I enjoyed the base building elements to it as well, and the retro screens and tactile buttons bring a sense of nostalgia I didn't know I was missing. While the demo is short, it did leave me curious as to what the full game will entail, and is recommended if you enjoy trying to survive in your own little realistic setting. Now people, look at me. I've got two words to say to you. Space Samurai. That's right. Coming up, Seoul Shogunate is the striking sci-fi action game that combines futuristic technology with the ancient traditions of feudal Japan. In the game, you're playing as Yuzuki, whose entire samurai family just got wiped out by a rival clan. Now she's a ronin on the run and is not happy about it. I mean, I wouldn't be either. It's set on the moon, but not your average run-of-the-mill moon. Think massive cities with artificial gravity, space elevators, bullet trains, shogunate clans living their best lives up while everyone else suffers below. Think that classic feudal power structure just set in space. The combat though looks so satisfying. Hack and slash, multiple weapons, elemental effects, I want it all. You're basically building a custom space samurai from the ground up. The movement also looks so fluid. It comes with a jetpack plus grappling, cable plus low lunar gravity, and it all combines to give you this absolutely chaotic acrobatic combat. It looks incredible. Honestly, Seoul Shogunate looks very interesting. It's got a lot of personality, and even though it doesn't have a set release date, all I know is that it's set for PC and console, and I can't wait to see more. Next on the list is Aphelion, the cinematic sci-fi adventure from the studio Don't Nod, which is today's sponsor but also best known for their popular titles like Life is Strange and Remember Me. In other words, you can expect some deep emotional storytelling. But now they've decided to partner up with the European Space Agency, or ESA, aiming to give us a grounded near-future look at space travel. Set in the year 2060, we can't live on Earth anymore, so you will follow astronauts Ariane and Toma on a mission to the mysterious ninth planet, Persephone, to try and find a way to support life. Now, it's not 100% hard science, as being this far out means finding power is not easy, especially on an icy planet. However, the team find this cosmic anomaly called the Source that might be the answer, as explained by study lead Martin Haag from ESA.
The power source, that is mysterious source on Persephone, and the astronauts are trying to discover what this source actually means. Because this far away from Earth, you really need to conserve energy.
However, after this catastrophic crash landing, the duo is separated across this brutal frozen landscape. Your mission to find each other before it's too late. Now, I got early access to the game, and I gotta say, it is very cool. I enjoyed the high-stakes traversal and exploration, as well as that emotional storytelling. Think Uncharted meets The Martian. I was using this grappling hook every chance I could to navigate these icy cliffs, but then I switched up to where Toma was nearly dying because of his lack of oxygen. Now, Aphelion has just been launched for Xbox, PlayStation, and PC, so if you're looking for a sci-fi title that carries a lot of that emotional weight in its story, then check it out in the link below. Moving on with the list, we have Ontos, a sci-fi horror from the devs Frictional Games. Yes, they're the same ones that brought us Soma, so you already know it's going to be messing with your head. You'll be playing as Aditi Amani, drawn to this place called Samsara, a repurposed moon hotel by the mysterious legacy of your estranged father. He was a genius, but then he became a prophet, and surely nothing bad will come from that, right? Samsara itself looks wild, a failed mining colony buried under a forgotten luxury hotel, now split up by philosophical factions where science and religion have basically merged into something even stranger than Scientology. In the game, you'll be scavenging, calibrating analog machines, and solving problems along your own way. It also looks like you'll be making various choices that will carry on throughout your game, facing questions about the soul, about suffering, and about what reality even is. Ontos is heading to PC sometime this year, and so if you enjoy sci-fi horror and loved Soma, well, you might want to check this one out. Then up next on the list is Stars of Icarus, an action-packed online multiplayer space battle game that blends the thrill of high-speed combat with roguelike progression. If the name rings a bell, it's because it's from the same team that brought us Guns of Icarus, that was popular a few years back. With intense dogfights being the core gameplay, the game comes with 6 different ships to choose from and plenty of squad formations to suit your playstyle. Maybe you want to be a high-speed solo fighter, support the mission with a 2-seater corvette, or maybe bring out the big guns with a 3-person frigate. And unlike Wildgates, there'll be no boarding, you'll just be taking on your opponents with your ships, but you still need to keep your internal systems running smoothly, so teamwork will be handy. The visuals look great, very vibrant and punchy, and there also looks like there will be a lot of customization options to your player as well as your ship. Stars of Icarus is heading to PC sometime this year, and worth checking out if you're a fan of Guns of Icarus or you just want some intense spaceship dogfights. Then up next on the list we have Remnant Protocol, a space flight sim that puts you in command of a galactic rebellion. In the game, you're in charge of the Remnant forces as Blessed Mother got assassinated a few generations back. So what are you going to do about it? Well, why not wage a war against the evil usurpers? This means that you'll be raiding outposts, making alliances, constructing a bunch of ships, researching new technology, and of course leading your team into battle. And that means a whole lot of dogfighting action. It's also going to be featuring this living, breathing galaxy, which never know what that means, but I hope it's going to be coming with unpredictable factions that will just be doing their own thing. Plus, every campaign will feel unique, coming with procedurally generated missions with dynamic narrative elements. Remnant Protocol is due for release sometime this year for PC, so if you're a fan of intense dogfighting action, this one needs to be on your wish list today. Moving right along, next up we have C-Beams, an upcoming space sim led by YouTuber Level Cap Gaming. It's now entering its 3rd year of development, and the project has come a long way, going from just prototypes to now something a lot more cohesive. Unlike other titles that just focus on massive scale though, C-Beams is focusing on a grounded, gritty experience where players can operate a single ship in this collapsing system. The game is going to be this top-down space action RPG that's set inside this dangerous black hole system. A new type of gold rush is here, with corporations, pirates, desperate pilots all scrambling to extract rare elements from one of the most hostile environments imaginable. And guess what? You're one of those pilots. The flight physics look way too cool though. You'll need to manage your momentum correctly, and you can't forget about the weight of your fuel and cargo. The combat is looking slick so far. You'll have Gatling guns, railguns, guided missiles, C-beams, as well as subsystem targeting, so you can surgically disable engines or weapons before moving in for the kill. C-Beams doesn't have a set release date, but it is coming out for PC and it's looking great so far. Then continuing the countdown, we have Lunar Abyss, a fast-paced first-person action-adventure that blends fluid bullet hell combats with this haunting cinematic narrative. Many people are calling this an FPS version of Returnal, so if you enjoyed that game, well then this one might be for you. The demo is out, I played it, and to me it reminded me more of Doom mixed with some Nier. You play as a prisoner sentenced to explore a derelict megastructure deep beneath the surface of this mimic moon called Luna. Under the watchful eye of a mysterious artificial prison warden named Aphelion, You must recover lost technology from the Abyss. Along the way, you'll uncover the truth behind the fallen colony and the cosmic forces that led to its ruin. But enough about the boring stuff. That gameplay is all about that epic movement and quick reflexes. You will engage in high-speed combat against twisted monstrosities, dodging intricate patterns of glowing projectiles while utilizing a powerful arsenal of alien weaponry. And to me, I love my bullet hell games, and this one isn't bad at all. The platforming is pretty intense too, requiring you to navigate these dark and creepy levels. Lunar Abyss is set for release sometime this year for PC and console, and it might be recommended for people who enjoyed Returnal or you just want some of that high-speed bullet hell combat. Then coming up next is one that I'm very much looking forward to. It's Battlestar Galactica Scattered Hopes. It's a tactical roguelike spin on the iconic series, but instead of leading humanity to a new home, you'll be piloting a few beat-up ships trying to catch up with the Galactica to join the fleet. Now, based on the trailer, I had no idea what to expect, so I tried out the demo, and it was actually very cool. It's all about this combat that comes with a pause and plan kind of move, where you'll have to plan your fleet's movements, position them in key places, and hope those pesky Cylons don't get the better of you. It's not easy though. I died a few times, mainly because my multitasking is shocking when it comes to tactical pause combat. Luckily, you have a few tricks up your sleeve. In between battles, it switches to these pixelated environments where you'll get to upgrade and repair your ships, upgrade your heroes, and make a lot of decisions along the way. It reminded me a bit of FTL, one of my favorite games of all time, except now there's a lot more ships going on all at the same time. Scattered Hopes is set to release sometime this year, so if you're a fan of FTL, and of course Bears beats Battlestar Galactica, then this is a must-play, so say we all. Up next on the list, we have Capital Command, which is getting published by Hooded Horse, which always makes me interested. This game puts you in charge of the state-of-the-art warship in a sandbox campaign where tactical mastery and precision piloting are key to your survival. The AI in charge of local defense have gone rogue, and in this distant frontier outpost, you're the only chance of restoring order. In the game, you'll need to take charge of your crew, manage systems, and engage in intense battles against a rogue AI fleet threatening the frontier. To do that, you'll need to maneuver your ship with 6 degrees of freedom, plan attack vectors, and utilize a vast arsenal of weapons, including missiles, solid projectile artillery, and point defense turrets. Then along the way, you'll need to salvage resources, upgrade your vessel, or even take over enemy ships as you adapt to new challenges. With procedurally generated campaigns, deep ship customization, and realistic physics, this looks like it's going to be offering a fresh take on strategic space combat. Set for release sometime this year on PC, maybe add Capital Command to your wishlist today if this looks good to you. Then onto a game that some of you might already know thanks to the original, it's Breathedge 2. You've been sent on a mission, a dangerous mission at that, to take down this evil corporation. In the game, you'll need to build, craft, manage your crew, and a whole lot more in this retro-futuristic survival game that I must say looks very impressive. Along your journey, you'll need to manage and upgrade your very own spaceship, but you'll also have a wacky crew to take care of, one of them being a chicken. So yeah, just keep in mind it's not taking itself too seriously. The planet itself looks like a lot of fun, where you get to search for resources, drive around in your sweet ride, and overall enjoy the humorous take on the classic space survival games. Breathedge 2 is set for release sometime this year for PC and PlayStation, so if you enjoy titles like No Man's Sky but want it to be with some more jokes every step of the way, this one might be the game for you. Then up next we have In the Black, a space sim game that puts you in charge of your very own spaceship in a universe that gives me heavy Expanse vibes. It's also going to be multiplayer, bringing you some hard sci-fi realistic battles in some heart-pounding dogfights. In the game, you'll get to play as a private military contractor hired by mega corporations to fight covert wars across the solar system. And when it comes to playing in a team, you'll have 2 to 4 player cooperative play as well as 5v5 team-based multiplayer. Also, what looks exciting is that it's coming with Steam Deck support as well as HOTAS and HOSAS support too. What makes it so unique though is its commitment to science, skill-based gameplay, and a focus on pure space combat, brought to life by industry veterans from X-Wing and Mech Warrior. Now, they still don't have a release date yet, only coming soon, but judging by their very active Discord server, That soon is looking very promising, with many people testing it already. So if you're craving some intense space battles and want to bring a friend or two with, maybe add In the Black to your wishlist today. Now for something a bit more spooky, up next on the list we have Directive 8020. It's from the devs Supermassive Games, and yes, that's the same studio that brought us titles like Until Dawn, Maid of Medan, and The Quarry. Now I enjoyed The Quarry quite a bit, but Until Dawn freaked me out so much when I first played it, and now that kind of vibe but set in space, I can't wait. So much like those, this will be a single player cinematic survival horror experience. The game is set in the dark corridors of the Cassiopeia, a colony ship that has crash landed. And now humanity's survival rests in your hands as you face a shape-shifting alien threat that hides among the crew. So yeah, instead of scary Earth monsters in the previous games, we're getting real-time alien encounters where stealth and improvised weapons are your only defense. Added to this is the branching story where all of your choices will have their consequences. The visuals look amazing, and yeah, if it's anything like their previous titles, I'm sold, especially when playing it with a group of friends that get to share your remote. Directive 8020 is set to release in May this year for PC and console, and it's worth checking out if you enjoy those choose your own adventures, but also hold your breath by not touching the controller else you'll die type of experiences. Then next on the list is another title that caught my eye. It's Exodus, this intense looking sci-fi RPG. Now if the game reminds you a bit of Mass Effect, you'd be right. It comes from the studio Archetype Entertainment, which has drawn a lot of talent from BioWare, so it makes sense. Set 40,000 years into the future, you play as the Traveler, and you have to lead humanity's fight for survival against the Celestials. Combat looks epic though, fighting against these monstrous creatures, other human dynasties, and of course the Celestials. To make it more intense, you've got this gauntlet to fight with, where once you combine remnants with human technology, you'll be able to unleash some havoc with some crazy cool abilities. You'll also have some companions to fight alongside you, helping you when you're in a pinch. Along your journey, you'll come across a whole bunch of weird creatures, from highly intelligent awakened animals to bioengineered changelings. Wait just a moment. RPG, changelings, a gauntlet, celestials, companions. This is starting to sound like Dungeon Crawler Carl, but set in space. Hell yeah. Anyways, Exodus looks amazing. It's coming to PC and PlayStation sometime next year. So if this looks good to you, why don't you add it to your wishlist today? Moving on with the list, we've got Final Orbit, a game that went under my radar, but it looks very interesting. In the game, you'll be cruising around in this highly realistic spacecraft coming with Newtonian physics-based simulation. You can go wherever you want, taking off from the surface of planets to docking on various stations. Why? Well, you can trade in the game with either commodities or maybe some shipping contracts if you want. This will give you the chance to buy upgrades on your ship and optimize your build. I wouldn't say it's for beginners though, as the cockpit is inspired by modern aircraft like the F-35. But hey, you can still customize the layout to suit your needs. Every button has a function, so you also need to learn how to master the propulsion, heat, and power in your ship. And for my players out there wanting the full experience, it's coming with VR and HOTAS support as well. Final Orbit is getting a PC release sometime this year, so check it out if you're a fan of realistic space sims. And then for my base builders out there, up next we have Planetbase 2, the highly anticipated sequel to the original Space Colony builder. In the game, you'll be commanding a group of space settlers trying to build a self-sustaining colony from scratch. You start on Mars, but soon push further out into the solar system, where each new world will bring tougher challenges. Like with most colony sim or city builders, you'll be handling it all. Mining resources, growing food in giant greenhouses, synthesizing meat in labs, researching tech, managing power grids, and whatever else the planet will give you to work with. But also, that planet is coming for you. Solar flares, sandstorms, meteor strikes, dust devils, and each world will have its own way of trying to kill your colony. The gameplay is right down my alley, where it sits on that sweet spot between city builder, RTS, and survival. From the constant dev updates, Planetbase is set for release early next year, so if you're a fan of the first, or maybe other titles like Surviving Mars, then this one is definitely worth checking out. Now it's time for some games that aren't exactly going under the radar, but damn, they look so cool. First is Squadron 42, which was actually announced 13 years ago as Star Citizen's standalone single-player campaign. In that time, we've seen delay after delay, as well as some major changes. Could it be that the cast is just too studded with stars? I mean, you throw in Gary Oldman, Gillian Anderson, and myself into the game, what did you expect? Set in the Star Citizen universe, this game will blend spaceship dogfighting with some on-foot first-person combat as well as some puzzle solving. You'll be playing as a fresh recruit from the United Empire of Earth Navy, this elite military group fighting to protect us against a whole bunch of aliens and bandits. As you progress in the story, you'll get to make choices that will define your character, changing your reputation among the various NPCs you meet along the way. This will all take place in a game over 40 hours long, which isn't bad if they manage to stick to their guns. Squadron 42 is set to release sometime this year. I'm holding back my laughter, but hey, who knows? It's been 13 years, we might get lucky. It's coming to PC, but maybe some consoles after that, so add it to your wishlist and just hope for the best, because this game just looks incredible. Now for all my turn-based or XCOM fans out there, next up is a game set in the Star Wars universe. Yes, I've mentioned Star Wars Zero Company a bunch of times on this channel, but I'm just so excited about it. You'll be playing as Hawks, a former Republic officer leading an unconventional mercenary group during the chaotic twilight of the Clone Wars. The game is also being developed by BitReactor, who's made up of some of the veterans coming from XCOM. So yeah, I'm a bit excited about this one. You'll spend your time commanding a unique strike team that includes a clone, a Mandalorian, and even a Jedi Padawan. Between missions, you'll return to your base where you'll get to upgrade your gear, recruit new specialists, and then plan your next move. But honestly, I'm just looking forward to that epic XCOM-like turn-based combat that, from the look of things, looks very, very cool. Plus, the game is going to feature the ability to customize your character, as well as some hardcore options like permadeath if you really want to feel the high stakes of a galactic civil war. Set to launch sometime this year for PC and console, this one needs to be on your wishlist if you're a fan of XCOM or you just love that turn-based action now set in the Star Wars universe. Oi, belter loaders, last on the list we have the Expanse Osiris Reborn. I mean, come on guys, you had me at the Expanse, one of my favorite shows and books of all time, and hopefully this title will be much better than the last adaptation I played from Telltale. Sabaka, I don't even want to talk about it. Anyways, Osiris Reborn is set to be this third-person action RPG set in the Expanse universe. In the game, you'll play as a Pinkwater security mercenary whose short vacation on the asteroid Eros spirals out of control. You get trapped in a deadly lockdown and drawn into a solar system-wide conspiracy far beyond your control, where you'll have to adapt, survive, and take command of the most advanced ship in the whole of the solar system. What's cool is that you get to create and customize your own captain, so either an Earther, a Martian, or a Belter, and then a crew of specialists as you take down your enemies. The combat looks right down my alley. It reminds me a lot of Mass Effect, one of the best sci-fi experiences of all time. Plus, you'll get to visit some iconic locations like Ganymede, Ceres, Mars, and Luna. Anyways, the game is coming out sometime next year for PC and console, and to me, it might just be a day one purchase. And so that wraps up my list. Thank you very much for watching. If you found any of this enjoying, please leave a like or maybe even subscribe to find more content like this. And a big shout out goes to my channel members. You guys always mean so much to me. Yeah, thank you for that. And other than that, it's Marco here from Easily Distracted Games. And as always, don't stop gaming.